such a big area of interest for both of us. So Jess, up to you, because you have three really big, let's just have this conversation about protein and kidney disease. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I am naturopath Fiona Chin, co-founder of Kidney Coach, the Kidney Disease Solution, and our supplement range, Kygenesis, which is specially formulated supplements to support those diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. And I'm joined again today by one of my favorite guests, Jessiana Seville. Jessiana heads up the team at Kidney Nutritional Institute over in the US. They're a team of renal dietitians and mindset coaches and more. You always add to the team, Jess, but really dedicated renal dietitians that are thinking outside the box when it comes to actually treating you as a person and not a disease when it comes to renal disease. So why a one-size diet doesn't fit all, and really dig into protein, because when it comes to chronic kidney disease, protein really does get demonized, especially if you've got protein spillage, and then we can see that, in some of your kidney tests. And a bit like the potassium issue that I definitely get on our soapbox about. So we have big opinions about that. I suspect, and Jess and I both believe in, and what we see in clinical practice is that the story around protein and kidney disease is incomplete. And it's not this black and white thing of you need to chop it out, take all animal protein out, because it's just not what her and I are seeing when it comes to treating patients in clinical practice. So we really wanted to dig in today's episode into the overarching view of protein and amino acids. And then Jess and I have committed to once a month digging into one specific amino acid and dissecting it in its role in kidney disease, because it's such a big area of interest for both of us. So Jess, I'm going to hand it over to you, because you have three really big areas that you wanted to cover in this, which I thought were great. And then let's just have this conversation about protein and kidney disease.
Okay, sounds good. So protein, like you said, is a very controversial issue in both the professional world, professionals working with kidney disease, but also in the patient world. So patients that are online and they're in Facebook groups, or they're reading stuff on the internet, or wherever they're at and thinking about protein, there's a lot of messaging around these two different camps of, be very protein restricted. Protein is the thing that's really going to knock out your kidneys. And then there's another conversation about be totally plant-based. It's animal protein that super hurts your kidneys. And if you're in any of these groups, there are groups that are online about this. People will talk about amazing results that they've had. And what you don't hear are the people that don't have those same types of results, or even maybe have negative consequences from limiting protein, which I've definitely seen in practice. But then on the other side, you have other people that are big proponents of do carnivore or do a meat heavy keto, and they'll also have great results. And then for me as a clinician who works every day with people, what I have seen over the last decade of specifically working with people with CKD is that it is very true that the results that people get are not dependent just on doing a protein restriction. It's not just protein restriction. Get it down to 30 grams, eat 0.5, 0.6 grams per kilogram. That is not the formula for a result, even though that's what it seems like. There seems to be something else that is going on, because I have had people that have gone totally plant-based and they've had a pretty good result. I've had people be not totally plant-based, but just more alkaline and still include meat, and they've got some good results. I've had people that have been precise with everything they've done, and they've, brought their protein down to the recommended levels that we see in the research, and they have a lot of vegetables, and they're still not getting good results either. And so it has been a question frequently for me of what is the thing that we really need to think about with protein. So that's kind of the background of why I feel like there's more to think about. So if protein, when I think about all the things that it kind of plays into, is that I don't think it is, in the research, you do see a protein restriction seems to relate to better outcomes. So there is data that keeps coming out on that. And I don't think that that is incredibly controversial. I think, though, what is very controversial is it actually protein or is it something else linked to decreased protein? And that could be a variety of things, right? If you decrease your protein, you are going to have to increase something else. So you may be increasing fiber, right? You may be increasing alkalinity, which you and I talk a lot about. When you decrease protein, you do start trending towards a much more alkaline diet. And I think alkalinity is one of the most important things for improving kidney health. So I'm like, well, maybe it's not protein, maybe it's actually alkalinity. Then there's this component of, we do know that the gut is very intimately linked pretty much to every inflammatory process that we have, but there is a link specifically to the kidneys. So then I think, well, maybe when people reduce protein, now they're getting more fiber, they have a little bit more alkalinity. Now they're changing the gut microbiome, they're decreasing uremic toxins. So maybe it's the gut and protein. So could be alkalinity, could be the gut. But then there's this other component that is just so fascinating to me. I don't think it's like, in my head, I have not solved for it entirely. But that is the specific amino acids.
Yeah.
Because you can see with just one amino acid, if you go look at the research, so amino acids are these little tiny building blocks that make up a protein. So I always think about it, Christmas is coming, I got kids. If they're making a Lego castle, the amino acids are the little Legos and the castle is the protein. So I have wondered sometimes, maybe it's something about the specific amino acids and how they're playing into disease for different people, because some amino acids, if you have too much, the research is good, they're going to damage your kidneys, they're going to be very hurtful to the kidneys. But you can look at that same amino acid and you can find other studies that show that some supplementation of it can actually improve kidney disease. So you have like the same amino acid showing two different results, and there seems to be a sweet spot in the middle. And so it makes me think that also maybe the individual amino acids have their own story linked to the individual patient on being able to drive a good outcome.
If you want to reach out to Jessiana and the team, I'll put the details in below, but it's kidneynutritionalinstitute.org. They've got a whole team and they can work with anyone from around the world. I know a lot of people that work with us also work with Jessiana and the team. And they're able to do telehealth, and we've got insurance in the US, they'll work with that. If you want to know more about what we do, head to www.kidneycoach.com. Make sure you hit subscribe and like. That way you'll get notified anytime we put up new content. Thank you for being part of the community. And we look forward to taking you on the journey of amino acids through 2025. Jessiana, thank you again for your time and your knowledge and your care for patients. It's always greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.